Welcome back to BaldHeaded Metal, guys, and welcome back to another Band Maid reaction. I wanted to do one of the most requested songs by you guys, Real Existence, the live version. And as you've been seeing, I've had a deeper appreciation of the band, even if I don't always like the songs that I'm hearing. But we've been having really interesting conversations in the comments with you guys. With that being said, I want to jump into it, see what we got, what it offers, what different style or different kind of songwriting aspect they're going to bring to this particular song, and see how I feel about it. And for those who are new to the channel, I tend to like to just say what I feel, and if I like it, I dislike it, and this way it creates an interesting conversation where you could either educate me or we exchange ideas, we agree to disagree, whatever it may be. I think it makes it for a more interesting reaction. Let's see what we got here. Let's get into the video, and if you enjoyed these kinds of reactions, make sure to subscribe down below for more. I can already tell I'm gonna like this because I can see it's on the heavier side. There's a thing about this band that I can't explain musically why I think this way, but I just have this feeling of listening to other music and listening to other bands or listening to music from Japan. I feel like Band Maid is quintessential Japanese style with a lot of obviously Western influence of rock and music and everything that kind of fused together into what makes this band, I think, special. And it's recognizable from the first seconds whether they do a heavy or a lighter song. And that's just something that I kind of appreciate about them. I learned, I should say, learned to appreciate. Man, the riffs are good. The bass sounds really good. It would be so awesome going to a live concert for it actually to sound like this. And most of the time, it doesn't sound the same way because of all the ambient noise that's created, right? And depending where you're located in a crowd, which I like to be at the front, but I've learned the sound is always so much better if you go a little bit further back and let the sound travel. I tend to have more enjoyment, and if I can see the crowd kind of going crazy, I personally like it that way. But the song so far, I think, is great. And this one of those songs that really travels the territory of heavy metal and hard rock, for sure. Because they kind of bounce between, right? Like rock and almost popish kind of music, or like Japanese style rock music, into heavy metal, and to jazz, and to all these kinds of different moments. And that's where I think when I'm starting to understand when you guys were saying that they're more of a fluid band. They don't really adhere to one genre under the umbrella of rock. They don't really stay within one subgenre of rock. And I know some people kind of get pissed off on the whole idea of having subgenres in rock in general. And I guess it was created more to create niches or unique aspects of the same genre to help maybe newer bands differentiate themselves, I guess. But I would say I'm on board with it because, you know, power metal is very different from black metal, or Viking metal. Viking death metal is very different from like traditional death metal. So I think those differences add something to it where they really create some kind of a new sound. And I've mentioned this way too many times at this point. I really like her voice. That's something I said from the beginning. I've liked from every single reaction. Songs I liked, songs I disliked. There's the one element for me that always stayed the same. There's been songs where I'm not saying the guitarist was bad. Obviously, they're very talented and skilled. I just wasn't digging the riff or something like that, right? Or I might have not been digging particularly the drum part as much as you guys were. But the vocals were something that I latched onto. I think that's what happens with a lot of people. We latch onto different things and we notice different things. And that's our real life experiences, right? You might be a drummer, you know, on your own free time. So you might be paying attention more to the drums. Some people really feel deeply about lyrics, so they're going to really pay attention to the voice. I'm not a musician. I've played guitar for 2 years, 2 or 3 years, and I was good on the rhythm level, but I never got to like a good rhythm guitarist or even start to play any kind of leads or solos. But I have like a basic understanding, you know? What's really cool with this band too is if you close your eyes and just listen to the music and you've never heard this band before, you might picture something else completely entirely, right? You wouldn't picture it for a pretty Japanese girl smiling and just having kind of a good old time, nonchalantly playing these kinds of parts. For some reason, I have the stereotype of some hard rock or metal dudes with leather jackets, right? That's what you would assume. And then you see like, holy crap, these girls can play. And I've always remembered this particular story. I've told it before on this channel, is when Lemmy from Motorhead, was talking to another musician. He didn't specify the musician. And they were talking about Girl School, which was one of the first female-led kind of hard rock, heavy metal bands. And the particular musician goes like, oh, you know, they're pretty good for girls. And Lemmy being Lemmy, he goes, pretty good for girls? Like, they're better than you. And he made such a good point. We shouldn't make that distinction at all. It's a bias in our own head, right? Male or female, if they're good, they're talented, they're good. You shouldn't be saying things like good for a girl or I think it's kind of completely stupid. This has to be probably one of my favorite songs that I've heard. It's hard to remember some of the songs I've covered. I've done a lot of Band Maid reactions, but this is definitely on the top of the list. This is a great song. I mean, I think you already guys know, it's just kind of to my liking because of the bluesy hard rock kind of nature of it. And, you know, I can't help it. I tend to go back to the things I'm comfortable with. But I've grown to really... I think out of the Japanese bands I've heard, I like them the most. More than Love Bites, more than everybody. because I don't know. There's just their energy. They're just having more fun. They seem to be a little bit more relaxed, and they're just kind of they're going with the wind. They don't have this. I always thought like Love Bites, despite how good they are, they have, I think, maybe a need to portray themselves to be a little stronger. Well, the guitarist, she's badass. She's totally badass. But like there's something about them that was like we need to play up a character. And some other bands to me are just a little bit too out there. Like I reacted to Passcode or Sokuranami or Galnerius. I can't pronounce their names. I tried, but they just kind of they didn't do it for me. This is I think the best. Yeah, I know they're going on tour in 2022. I would like to see them in New York. I would take my brother out. I think I showed him a couple songs from these girls. He actually was a little bit more open-minded than I was. He just automatically was like, oh, these girls are badass, just right off the bat, 2 seconds into it. But I like this. I enjoyed this. I don't have anything particularly crazy to say. It's a thoroughly enjoyable song. Thank you for recommending this one, guys. And make sure you enjoy the rest of your day and you stay safe and you keep it metal or keep it rock. It doesn't matter.